Hey Boujee Babes, welcome back to another well overdue video. I know it's been a minute, but the last time we were together, we were talking about blended families and the blended family series. On this episode, we're going to be talking about baby mama drama and just the saga behind it all. So let's get into this video. So on this episode, I've got two very special guests, baby mamas. You guys like being called baby mamas?
Actually,
it doesn't make a difference.
So I've got Seipati and Titi, and they're basically going to talk about their journeys as being baby mamas. So with regards to their stories, Seipati is a single parent, a single lady. Any bachelors out there, look up my girl. And we've got my girl Titi, who is my friend who is married and very much taken with two beautiful kids, and Seipati's got one beautiful daughter. And we're going to talk about, their blended family, situations. Let's get into it, ladies. Let's talk about how you guys, as the baby mamas, because Titi, you obviously got into your situation with your beautiful kids. Seipati, you are also a single parent, not together with your partner anymore. But basically, I want to talk about how you guys navigate through it, because I think a lot of people, like myself, have baby mamas that we must deal with. So before we get into this video, I wanted to talk about the term baby mama, because I guess it's a term that's very much frowned upon. So what is a baby mama? To me, a baby mama obviously is, the biological parent or the biological mother of the child. But the term is so derogatory in that it's always negative, because baby mamas always come with drama. Like, I have a baby mama in my life, and honestly, I don't have baby mama drama. But I know a lot of you guys can relate, because you have partners that have, I guess, baby mama drama or baby daddy drama, because that's also a real thing.
Yeah.
Niggas can be dramatic too. That's also a real thing. But so baby mamas.
Hey.
Let's get into it. So you guys talk about basically your journey as being, because Titi, before you obviously, were with your partner, you were a single parent, trying to navigate your way through introducing your partner and dating to your kids. Same with you, Seipati. So I think let's get into that and how you guys navigate being quote unquote baby mamas. And if you guys have drama.
Okay, I want to start with, well, being in a relationship with someone and actually saying that you're in a relationship or you're married, because I was engaged, right? Never in a million years did I ever think, Nali, the father would actually break up, But my situation was that when I was engaged to him, we already had 2 kids.
Okay.
Prior, my daughter. So it was a little bit of a tense situation, because how am I gonna discipline? And I don't know now. Is this child going to go tell the mother?
So before you were a baby mama, you had baby mama drama.
She didn't even give me drama because I didn't know her.
Okay.
The dad used to fetch Mona, but sometimes when I phone, on the phone, you only like 8. So on the phone, or phone, and it's a good. I'm like, you or a pimple.
Yeah.
Like, but you've been here for the whole week.
I didn't know you had a phone.
Yeah.
So those were kind of difficult situations for me. And then there were talks of hey, I was like, yeah.
Oh, was that like a okay?
Yeah, so it was a very difficult situation for me to get used to, because I think my mom was in that situation before when she was married to my dad.
Okay.
My dad was different because our older brother didn't get to stay with us.
Okay.
So then I was like, I don't want to lie about it. I don't want to sugarcoat it, because situation.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult for me. And then fast forward, we broke up. Now I became the villain. Like, medical aid, please.
Yeah. So how is your relationship with you and the father of your child?
No, it's not as nice as I think I'm the baby mama drama. I think we've got drama. I think he's got baby daddy drama, and I've got baby mama drama.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, darling, medical aid crash and everything, Then there's COVID. And I cannot tell it. So
yeah.
And on my side, I need to understand, because I'm self-employed, he's self-employed. But there are moments I feel like, mother F, how? Why? I 500 and I type these long text.
Yeah.
So
So does the father of your child have a partner at the moment?
yes.
Okay. And she now has to deal with you and the previous.
Yeah, and there was another time when she sent a message. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna respond to this. I just screamed up, like, please deal with this, because now we're not going to deal with this child. Now.
Wait, so the partner messages you?
Yeah, she messaged me thinking that maybe I wanna get back with her. I'm like, hey, nah, it's not that. When I text this person, because there are issues of one I have, I guess I got to follow no, medical aid, or I do when I call Musiu, there's a serious issue.
Because I was going to get into that. A lot of the messages that I've received is that, especially from like Instagram and stuff, a lot of people would say things like, boundaries, like my man's baby mama texts at like 9 p.m. Why do we have to talk about it at 9 p.m.? You can talk about the child, during the day.
Linda,
so that point that
Linda, I usually I would do it at 7 until I used
you used to do it
I was 7. Like I dated this person, I was engaged. I didn't even and I'm just drinking like, hey, what's going on? I do what. And then Lena for like a 6, like how? Also keep bad delay.
Yeah.
But like in a stress. What time?
Yeah. Because I know I feel away if like Tony's baby mama is texting us
and I remember guys,
TV.
When you're a baby mama, guys, it's not the drama. It's just that some things, so many things, maybe like quarter or run in a certain way. When any issues is that so I keep what second so it's very not drama. I don't know why come with the soul
I think for me, I don't think there should be a problem though, because
with texting after
any time, right? As long as it's but 7 o'clock, TV don't know watch. This is the time I get to sit down, unwind. Now I can gather myself. I'm planning for the child tomorrow, so it's just me. So there's nothing wrong with it. And obviously, we all wanna have boundaries, so you don't do it like in the midst of, and now you're not discussing other things, but you should have the comfort that your man knows okay, cool, this text you can get this time. If you can get the wrong time, outside. He's not forced to answer that.
And at the same time, now for what is that when I called and the current lady that Anna Limiana, I thought maybe when she says to me, I would expect that from him. Wait again, darling, born that now we'll talk about quickly. And then it's like I was like,
So can I ask something for the both of you, right? So with my situation, I don't have a relationship with Tony's baby mama, right? Okay. And she's never texted like all these funny texts. Yeah. I would feel away, like if she texted me and was like, why you text? I would feel away, right? But I do think about that point of, let's say the duty, Gamma 8, I go for Una. Baby girl, you had the day.
But I
understand your point. I think it all goes back to how we communicate, the three of us. So the question I was going to ask you guys is there a need for the new partner and the baby mama to have a relationship?
It's crucial. For me,
because you guys' answers are different.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, let me explain. For me, it's crucial because it's just in the way your in-laws communicate with your man.
Okay.
They'll communicate through you as Mosadi Walapa. You understand what I mean? So, Liana, she needs to award me the same respect.
Okay.
If it has something to do with the child, I'm taking care of your child. Clearly, you trust me enough.
Yeah.
Why now, when it comes to communication, you want to send it directly to the father? I'm your child's parent. Yeah. So that's how I'm taking the role.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So how you leave me with your child, why can't you speak to me? Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
And you need to
I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah, true.
You also need to assume that finances, we've discussed it. Whatever it is that you're coming with, either way, it's gonna come up between us. I can bring it up and say, we're thinking, Mama Ari, Mana Utoka ABCD. Let's make it happen, or no, we can't make it happen. You know what I mean? Haiyo or whatever. But I just think for things to work out, it is better for the woman to communicate through you as someone who is nurturing and taking care of your child.
Okay.
Because in most households of dad-mom relationship, the dad is often away.
Yeah, true.
He really takes on the work role, and you take on the making sure the household is running, my child is going to school safely, all those things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it would be very crucial if, let's just say, the baby daddy has
relationship.
a partner, I would love to know who spends time with my child. And I would also like to know who I can speak to you and be like, let's just say I've been affected by COVID, I can't manage, the money. Now, I'd like to say to you, listen, things are tough. It's not that utima ngwana. Maybe what we can do is ABCD instead of Atamaika transport or whatever the case is. But we need to have that for me.
But I think that can only work in mature relationships because Seipati made the point about how the baby mama, for example, was like, do you want the partner, sorry, do you want my man back? So there's always that element.
And when she said that, and when she sent the message, she coined a lot of things in there. Don't forget that I'm taking care of your child. I was like, I don't want to handle. So for me, for me, it's very difficult to read. That's why most of the time I'm very skeptical. And Awanaga is very comfortable with the dad. Whatever differences me and the father have, there's one thing that I don't do. I don't write things about at least that on social media. I don't talk ill things about him, and because these are things that are gonna come back years later when she googles on there was what's an article of Mao so and I have one so all these things I don't want her to know about it, but I would like to say when are you coming to fetch the child? But then for her to send the text on, I want those things back, and those things are, do I really need to take the child there? And it would have been so nice because if I'm dating, usually my previous relationship, look, now when we date, 80% like the guy that want again. So you want, as women, you are nurturers. You are the first one who literally phone no boat on now because you're mad on that one. You know, there's that 7 cents or the 6 cents of it. One push on the tour. So Linda, I would want the same relationship with her, but I don't think we're gonna have that relationship. It's fine. He drops the child, one like that. By the mother's got and the lady's got so mama, and then came up over. So and then okay, but I'm not gonna interfere. But Naliena, it's at this point the approach that she gave me and
kind of put you on.
And I never even responded. Like to some because they couldn't touch because now you want to keep a voice note.
So I have a question now, right? Because I totally agree with what you said.
I just want to say one more thing though. I do believe that he needs to facilitate that.
I was about to ask that.
And it's not something you will take on yourself. He needs to get to a point where he's comfortable with you guys having that relationship, and he needs to facilitate it. It's like how with me, when I'm ready or whenever, I will facilitate that relationship between the father of my kids and my other father of my kids, or be open, because also I can't always be present. Anything can happen to me. I would like to know that in general my kids will always know each other no matter what happens to me as the person who's brought them into this world. So that's why those relationships for me are very crucial, and stuff like that.
And that's also true. There's a saying called the fact that I love you, I should love your kids. The fact that you love me, you should love my kids.
I'm going to get into that, right? But before I do, I want to actually ask you, because you made a point about your baby daddy and your previous partner who was also your baby daddy must get along. So I want to ask you about that, right?
Okay.
Before you started being with your current partner now, how did you facilitate the introduction? Firstly, with your child, right? But also, did you feel that there was a need for your previous partner and your current partner to have a relationship? Because I think you didn't.
Okay, so my dynamic is that I fell pregnant in varsity. I was very, very young, and then so we were never together. So it's a child of no
vibes.
Vibes.
It's a real thing. It's vibes.
Baby came. lovely, you know what I mean? It was obviously challenging, it was different, but we managed to navigate through it.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it was heavily carried by our parents, our relationship. So I think the nice thing, I must say, from both sides was that we were guided well, that we could obviously always come back and restore in sense of being civil, being good with each other, and you know what I mean? So because of that kind of maturity, we never really, let's just say the drama fairly, you know, died down very quickly and all that stuff, which was very lovely, and I'm forever grateful for that. So fast forward, I started dating, started seeing people. I mean, every now and then the drama will come up, and not because we really want to fight, but because we're also figuring it out. Does this really offend me? Does it not really offend me? You know, and then you realize this is small waters. The bigger picture is the child. You know what I mean? Leave this alone. This is not for you. You know, make a decision, but don't make a decision based on, you know, the other person. Make a decision because of the child. So you constantly have to remind yourself. So the drama does come up. We are not immune to it.
Yeah.
Then fast forward, and then I meet someone. Okay, well, I've dated someone also with a child themselves, and then obviously that was like a little blended situation. That didn't work out. But meeting my partner now, one, you asked me if it's important for them to have a relationship. It hasn't been important as yet, because we've got, like I said, I've got a big support structure of our parents, who almost put up the structure where when the time is right, you know. So my partner has met his parents, but they've never encountered each other because there hasn't been a need to. Do you understand what I mean? But when the time is right, of course I want them to know each other, and when the time is right, that relationship can blossom into whatever, whether it's not a friendship, but in the sense of I'm coming to come fetch the child, I'm in town, where are you guys? Oh no, whoever's in the house, just call him, get the child or whatever. Of course that will be there, but now remember we stay in 2 different provinces.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been a need.
No, but I like what you said, is that at some point, because at the end of the day, right, they're gonna be and apart from that, there's stages to a child growing up.
Definitely.
You know, for example, I don't know, I guess because of movies, but like when your child graduates, all the parents are gonna be there. Everyone there is gonna be, you know. So there are gonna be stages where at some point we're gonna have to meet. I think the issues that, and a lot of common issues that happen, it's just whether the kids are young or not, it's just the maturity aspect of the parents. Yeah, and the communication element of the parents.
It doesn't make you any less mature if you've got the drama. That's the one thing I
You
must
think
say.
so though?
No, it doesn't.
What is it? What is
it's
it?
emotions.
It's emotions.
There's nothing.
But it's emotions from the baby mamas that don't want to let go of the niggas.
No! Hell no.
Hey, what is it, guys?
What is it? Can I say something? Most people buy it how you or some other or other mothers, I don't know, but from my perspective, how much about to know when about to know support about and about what the
and that will obviously be
emotional. And the people like
because they're not involved, they're not in that dynamic.
Believe me, there are so many women that I know, women that are well off, that can actually take care of their children. But you support you, and the fact that it's difficult to I get and those are the things that actually cause the drama. You said 15 school fees.
But this is why the relationship with the woman is fairly important. Because in the sense like
so I'll be honest, right? No, so with what you're saying, I'll be honest. I've never felt the need to be like, Shoni, give me your baby mama's number. Let me call her and and I agree. No, but I'm glad that you said that, because I don't think I've ever thought that far. I don't think I've, and it's not even and again, we don't have any issues, we don't have any drama, but I've never thought to let's say they fight. Let's say, God forbid, they have their own drama. And I, as woman to woman, I can sit down and be like, you know what, Shoni's don't take it too hard. Don't take it too hard, man. Let's work together as a team. This is our child. So I'm glad that you said that, because like that literally blew my mind. So because you had the element of blended family because you had a stepdad, right?
Yes.
Do you think, because I get this thing where, and I was going to read a few of your questions, but because I remember some of them, I'm just going to mention them.
Okay.
So there are scenarios where some of, my followers have mentioned that and this is from my perspective, so I think you guys can assist in answering this, right? Mm-hmm. And especially because you said you grew up in a blended family with, a stepfather or a bonus dad. So there's this expectation from us as the new partner or the bonus, and you actually touched on it. You said, if you love my man, automatically you're gonna love my child.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that, right? And I'll tell you why. Obviously,
I also don't.
Yeah, I understand the dynamic of, I met this man, Tony came, and Princess B is here, but it was hard. Like, I'm not gonna act like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, girl, come on through. I'm the new mama. I love you. Because what people don't realize is that I have to form a new relationship with this human being.
Yeah.
Like, we must be friends, and then from being friends, there must be the boundaries and the discipline. Like you even said, it's because I struggle with that currently, where I'm struggling to. And I mean, thank gosh, she's a great child for now, but her teenage growing pains are coming, and I struggle to reprimand her if she's being a brat, because we're still building, and I'm still on that. And Queenie said that I'm so focused on wanting to be liked, which is true.
All the time. All the
Yes.
time.
So I was gonna say to you guys, from my element, I'm expected now, and she's got a mom. So now I'm expected to now be the other mom and love her tomorrow, which is not fair.
Remember that many years ago, our parents went through things that they are not still comfortable to talk about.
Yes.
The conversation that we're talking about now, our parents might not even be comfortable.
Yeah, they might cringe.
If talk about the world, it would be very difficult to all those idioms.
That's what they tell you.
So for us actually as young women to actually have this conversation, okay, but girls, this has been happening all forever. Which is very, very difficult. I mean, look, you have to be this nice mother or have a canto because what are hard. And like I go when now you was totally. Because you don't even know how to and then
yes.
then you get your sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you no, she didn't want me to eat. I didn't even get my sweet.
Yeah.
Then I could
And the interpretation is all wrong. Yeah.
So I know it's very, very difficult, but I mean
we hope that you are trying.
Better.
Yeah. So for me, I've had both sides, right? Where let's say, been with someone who has a child, and that was difficult for me.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult, but it's something I'm grateful I went through before.
Because you have perspective with your partner
into
now.
a relationship where my partner has no kids. This is his first child. Well, the child we have now, not the second child.
Yes.
His first child, but my child is there, So in the beginning, I used to say, if anyone wants to be with me, they must, love me, my child, wada, 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 wada. So that was usually a focus, that when you meet someone, it's like, I have a child,
So
that's
you did the intro automatically.
Yeah, that's how I used to go into it, Then I learned through my experiences, and I was just like, it's very unfair for someone to open up their heart to my extended self, which is my son, before they even get to know me, and whatever it is that I come with. And it's also very unfair for me to want them to accept them as their child. That's not my expectation anymore. Do you understand what I mean? My expectation is just that you don't go around wanting to harm every child you come across. You are open to it. You are open to just getting to know the child. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, build your own friendship, And I used to feel like, I'm gonna have to navigate that, get involved, whatever. I don't have expectations, timelines towards when is it that they will reach a stage of this is my daddy, but I don't want any of that. My child has a father, one that in abundance,
and they have their own relationship.
And, but my child and my current partner get along so well. It is so seamless. It makes sense to them, and that's enough for me.
Okay.
You know, I could never say this is what their relationship should look like, this is what it should sound like, and all those things. How he chooses to interpret it and whatever. If he's confused, being my son, then I will listen to, okay, cool, this is where you're at with it. This is how I see it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But it's not a, this is your dad, you know.
Okay.
You must address him in this certain way. Or
You let them form their own
Yeah.
relationship.
their own relationship, whether it is that they feel like they need to be best of buddies in the sense of he's trying to buy favor or whatever, that's what he needs to do in
Yeah.
order to be the best version of himself to my son. Do you get what I mean? I don't expect him to walk around saying, oh, I have 2 kids. The moment he says I have 1 kid, I'm already like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No, that's
Because that's always the taboo that, like, and I'm glad that you
No.
said you guys have a child together as
Yeah.
in your partnership, and then you've got your son that you came with.
Yeah.
So that you've released that expectation because you've experienced it.
I have.
Whereas most people don't have that advantage, and it's
Yeah.
that thing of, and I think a lot of females and probably even a lot of men are like that, where it's like, if you're gonna date me, you better accept my child, or
I
otherwise.
accepted your child
Yeah.
as a child.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I will make sure your child wahlala, wahlaba,
Wahlaba,
uskunu,
uskunu.
or whatever and stuff like that. But I can't walk around saying, yo, can I run by 2?
By 2.
I can have by 2. Do you get what I mean? Maybe can I don't know one. And
And I
that's
think,
fine.
yeah, and I
Do
think
you
people will
understand
view,
what I
will
mean?
view that differently because,
Definitely.
yeah,
But-
some will agree, some may not agree, and
Definitely,
yeah, it's a
because-
subject for debate.
In the same way, if I force you to walk around just to say it, but you're not acting it, what
Then
does
what's
that
the
mean?
point?
What's
Yeah,
the point? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, in that moment where you feel like I'm with my 2 kids or I'm with my children, then it's fine, you know, but it shouldn't be an expectation. It shouldn't even harm me if the numbers are sideways. Do you get what I mean? Because I know how they are. I've seen them together. That's comfort enough. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like anyone in the house is treated differently to the other, and that's enough for me. Do you get what I mean? I think it's when favor comes upon where maybe I would feel some type of way, and it's shown to my child that
Yeah,
you are the
yeah,
other
yeah.
child, then that would bother me. But in the sense of no, I can't enforce.
So I think
that.
I think I like that. So just to kind of wrap it up, right? I wanted to find out from you guys because you have your perspectives of, you know, and you're single, you're in a relationship, being the baby mamas, right? Because it's such a taboo, this phrase and this term, and it's such a, you know, it's a lot of people frown upon getting into relationships with guys or with females that have partners with kids, right? So from your guys' advice, just to, you know, close it up, what would you guys then say to a lot of people like myself, for example, who are like, I'll never be with a man with a kid because of the baby mama drama. I'm not trying to get into that. Like, what kind of advice would you give a me with that kind of attitude? Because it's very common. It's a very common thing.
It is.
Because you're risking missing out on great relationships because of
I
it.
think it's the same thing when I used to grow up. The first thing a guy would ask you,
Yeah.
you know. So look at what's a guy that mentality. Yo, happy, you know. It's still at the back of my mind. Would someone marry me with a child?
Yeah.
You know? But I would say to you, be open about it. Yeah, you know, it's a very difficult situation actually. Will I ever get married because I've got a child?
Because I've got a child.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for Wana as well to watch
Yes.
Yeah.
But make it comfortable for you and for her and for yeah. And then
Cool.
I think my advice would honestly, I concur with that, is as you go through the journey, be open. Be open towards the good, the bad, the sour, this is my boundary, you are asking too much of me. Do you get what I mean? Because the one thing that happens in this kind of space is the thoughts in your mind will be very different to what they are receiving on the other side. So you're sitting thinking, yo, we're taking 20k, the bed is facing upwards, whatever, she's got everything she wants, but yet this child, all they want is a moment to sit down with you and just chat.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? So the more open you are, the better it becomes.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But more than anything, the rejection on the other side, also, I think, is one part that we also don't touch on being a baby mama, is we live through the rejection of unomntwana, angifuni umuntu onomntwana, anginamntwana mina. You know, those kind of things we've gone through it. But even for that woman, it's not the end of the world. Like, there's people with 50 kids.
Yeah,
Again and again and again.
True.
The person that's meant for you will find you.
Yeah, true.
And they will bring you the moon and more. And stuff like that. There is no perfect picture. There's not how it's supposed to be. There's the way you want it to be. So navigate through it the way you need to navigate through it. If you need a break, sometimes take the break. Drive around, keep
releasing some,
and stuff like that. But be open, and
I guess communicating
is important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Yeah.
The mothers. I appreciate your perspective, because honestly I think a lot of people, including ourselves, struggled with this and communicating with the baby mama, or but thank you guys for being such great guests, for giving such great advice and dropping great gems. Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below, and let's have a conversation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them comments. But see you guys in the next video. Till next time. Bye. Say bye, ladies.
Bye.